Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Mercury News that was published on October 6th that was written by Ethan Barron, Google accused of racketeering in lawsuit claiming pattern of trade secret theft. Well, it appears now when it rains it pours for Google. They're in the spotlight, and the shady shit that's coming out from that, coming out from under the rock that they crawled out from under is actually kind of funny. In an explosive new allegation, a renowned architect has accused Google of racketeering, saying, in a lawsuit the company has a pattern of stealing trade secrets from people it first invites to collaborate. Well, this has kind of been like a known thing. They raid companies for their intellectual property, They collaborate and then steal the technology. It's Google's way. Architect Eli Attia spent 50 years developing what his lawsuit calls game-changing new technology for building construction. Google in 2010 struck a deal to work with him on commercializing it as software, and Attia moved with his family from New York to Palo Alto to focus on the initiative codenamed Project Genie. The project was undertaken in Google's secretive Google X unit for experimental moonshots. So they wined him, they dined him, they wooed him, and got him to a point where he let his guard down and they stole the shit. I mean, that's what's being alleged here. I mean, that's what it sounds like. But then Google and his co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin plotted to squeeze Attia out of the project and pretend to kill it, but used Attia's technology to surreptitiously spin off Project Genie into a new company, according to the lawsuit. Yeah, they spin off new companies all the time with intellectual property that they obtain. The real adding insult to injury was Google telling him the project had been canceled and they weren't going forward with it when in fact they were going full blast on it. Yeah, that's really adding insult to injury. Attia's lawyer Eric Bueller said in an interview Friday. Also named as defendants are Google X founder Sebastian Thrun and Eric Astro Teller, the head of Google X, who are alleged to have negotiated with Attia over his technology. Oh, God. You gotta love how you give a little bit of power, and that power then grows to where you get these people who think that they can get away with this shit. I hope that they get hung out to dry and taken to the cleaners and their clocks cleaned and all of that good stuff with this one. I mean, it's Google's sleazy. They're evil. Google did not immediately respond to a request for comment, but a judge in the case noted last year that the firm has argued that Attia gave Google rights to his technology without a condition of later payment. Yeah, right. You're in a joint venture. Okay? It's still his intellectual property. You're fucking sleazy, Google. You steal his shit and then go, oh yeah, he shared it with us without any condition of later payment. I love how you leave out the fact of he didn't give up his rights to his intellectual property, as in property rights. He did not give them up to you. You avoid that like the bubonic plague. I love that one. Now Attia has added another allegation to the suit. The Mountain View tech giant's actions follow a pattern that makes Google guilty of racketeering. Ha 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 ha! Oh, God. Which means that this could be turned into an all-out RICO type situation if it goes criminal. And like pretty much everyone in Google under a RICO could get fucked. I hope it goes criminal. That would be poetic justice. That would be so beautiful. It's cheaper to steal than to develop your own technology, Buther said, which is true. You can take it from somebody else and you have a virtually unlimited budget to fight these things in court. Yeah, exactly. It's cheaper to steal and then pay the lawyers and the court fees and everything else than to actually develop the technology. That's fucked up. Attea's technology automates certain aspects of building design to save time and money and allow architects and designers to focus on creative elements, Buther said. This week, a judge in Santa Clara County Superior Court approved the addition of racketeering claims to the lawsuit originally filed in 2014. Good. Attea's legal team uncovered 6 other incidents in which Google had engaged in substantially similar fact pattern of misappropriation of trade secrets from other people or companies, according to a July 25th legal filing from Attea. Doesn't surprise me. I would expect more than that. I would expect hundreds of incidents of this, if not thousands. They haven't developed shit for technology, okay? Android. They stole that. They stole... Alright, and they... This goes to show, this is one of my favorite examples of how sleazy Google is. They created a piece of software. When they started developing Android, they had created a piece of software. Alright, they didn't even develop Android. They purchased a company that was developing Android. And then called it their own. But on that idea, the original developers kept all of the source code information, like comments, in the source code, including the licensing. Google tried to say that because their software, which reformats the code into the, into a more quote-unquote Google-friendly format. I believe that's the exact phrase they used. And as part of that, it wipes out the licensing. They were no longer bound by the GNU license. That was an actual legal claim that Google made. So, when you have a history that you'll do something like that, that says a lot. That's why I expected more than 6. 6 lawsuits against Google, 5 of them resolved in the company's favor because of procedural issues, reveal the pattern of intellectual property theft, Buther alleged. The company uses non-disclosure agreements to encourage a target to share confidential information, Buther claimed. Yeah, of course they do. They want people to spill their guts. The person with that NDA feels comfortable in revealing the details of the technology, which is proprietary, because they see huge opportunity with a company like Google, Buther said. Exactly. Google is taking advantage of this shit. I hope they get nailed to the wall. In Attea's case, Google struck an agreement with him to use his intellectual property and patent some of it, but in spite of using it as the basis for a new firm called Flux Factory, failed to pay him as agreed, Buther claimed. Yeah, of course, yeah. And he should have patented this shit himself. He kind of fucked himself there. He should have patented it, then went to Google, or better yet, shopped it around. Said, look, I've got this technology. It's patented. I'm willing to license it, or I'm willing to sell it. Licensing is a better deal for you as the person that came up with it, because, you can... Oh, excuse me. License it to multiple people. You retain control. And with that, you can do pretty much whatever you want. Obviously within legality, of course. But, yeah, so you have that going on where they failed to pay him, and they're trying to, like, oh, yeah, he gave us the keys to the castle. Yeah, okay, Google. It's even worse that just using the proprietary information, they actually then claim ownership through patent applications, Buther said. Ha ha ha! That is fucking sleazy. I gotta read that again. It's even worse than just using the proprietary information. They actually then claim ownership through patent applications. Listen to that. They're like trying to say we own it because we have... No. He's got proof that this is his. Whether you patent it or not don't mean shit. Because if he can prove that it was his technology or his intellectual property, would be more appropriate. If he can prove that, you don't have a freaking leg to stand on. And it doesn't sound like this is going to be one of those ones that you can just throw money at the problem and it's going to go away. He sounds like a man of principle, and he will literally wipe himself out financially just to prove the point. Just on the matter of principle, he'll do it. Yeah, but being a known architect, he's probably not piss poor. So you might have just met someone that, yeah, you might have pissed off the wrong people or person there, Google. You might have just pissed off the wrong person. I hope you did. Flux Factory, according to a filing by ATIA, was simply a reconstruction of Project Genie under a different name. It's like one of those criminal enterprises where, like, overnight they just move, like, the furniture and shit, like, next door or whatever, put up a new sign. That's what this is basically what they did. It's like Boiler Room, okay? With what those guys were doing with their fake brokerage house. All right? It's no different. Oh, yeah, well, we're just going to move over next door. We'll change the name. Yeah. That's what they did. It's sleazy. It's disgusting. And they should get nailed to the wall for it. Today, Flux Factory is called Flux, headquartered in San Francisco. It sells building design software and markets itself as the first company launched by Google X. It should be going as all right, it should be marketing itself as the first company stolen by Google, or the first company to steal its ideas by Google. You know, something like that would be more appropriate. Atia's suit seeks unspecified damages and compensation. Well, I hope it's huge on the note of compensation. I'm hoping that it's big enough that Google, the people there that run the company, feel it. All right? That it hurts them. I really want that to happen. I want the stockholders to feel it. Because then maybe these shitbricks at Google would get a clue and start acting like, you know, legitimately and stop being sleazy, scummy, leftist, social justice warrior, corporate crony capitalists that are in bed with the Democrats. Maybe they'd fucking get a clue and say, we should probably calm down on that shit a little bit and stop stealing shit. And yeah, you think they would probably get a clue because they're under the microscope with the whole Demore thing, with YouTube, and you know, it's targeting anyone right of Marx. They are under scrutiny for these types of things. So this stuff is just going to get drawn out into the open for people to look at. And Google is just going to be shown for a shitty of a company and sleazy, all right, as sleazy can be. They're going to be shown to be like that. And the people who run the company are going to be shown to be sleazy, scummy people. I mean, that's kind of a given. I mean, we are talking about, you know, an organization that in its early days got in bed with the federal government through In-Q-Tel, which is literally a U.S. intelligence-run venture capital firm that invests in companies that it can use to its advantage, like, say, with the collection of intelligence, which Google is the poster child for that. The chickens are coming home to roost here. So hopefully Google isn't able to pull a Hillary and, you know, fall in its pile of shit and still come out smelling like roses. Because that's what she's managed to do to this point, and it's ridiculous. Hopefully they don't have that ability. But I think I've covered this well enough here, so I'm going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.